Hello, my name is Martha Murray, and I am Superstar Director of Sweet Aroma Chicago. I live in Fairhope, Alabama, but I am a Chicago transplant. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about overcoming obstacles in your Scentsy business today. What are obstacles? Obstacles are things that block our way or prevents or hinders our progress. Henry Ford said, obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off of your goal. Obstacles are going to happen in our Scentsy business. Obstacles are inevitable in life and in your business, and it's unrealistic to think that you're not going to encounter obstacles. So when I talk to you all just a little bit about these, and of course our biggest obstacle is our mindset, right? But if you can overcome that, you can overcome anything. I recently read a book called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And you're going to come across obstacles in life that are fair and unfair, right? And you will discover time and time again what matters most is not these obstacles, but how you see them, or anything possibly that you've done for preventative, like set some systems in place, or how you respond to these obstacles. That's what matters. And you will learn that this reaction determines how successful we will be in overcoming these obstacles. Obstacles I hear all the time is that people hear they struggle with parties and recruits, right? And so one thing, like I always go back to, is the simple things, right? Creating maybe a Facebook party within my VIP group, right? Asking a friend or family to host that party for me. Reflecting upon when I first became a consultant, and that was 10 years ago. I've been with Scentsy for 10 years, and I carried the big old box of testers around everywhere I went, and I asked everybody if they wanted to smell this, one of my favorite scents, because I was just sharing, right? And that's what we got to get back to. Another thing I always used to do is I would make up these little, the little treat bags that you get from Walmart or Dollar Tree and fill them with samples and my info and pass those out everywhere I go, right? You got to go back to those simple things. And that's the fun part I love about this business, is that it is so simple, and all I have to do is share my passion about this product, right? Because we have an amazing product. The home fragrance industry is a $13 billion industry, and it's growing every year. So we want a piece of that pie, right? So sometimes we just have to get back to those simple things that we do in our business. So many times would I accidentally leave a catalog in the bathroom for reading material, right? Or I accidentally leave a business card laying on a counter somewhere with a little sample on it that's going to intrigue somebody, and leaving that purple trail wherever we go, right? And so many times we have to go back to those simple things. Asking a friend or family member to host a party. I think I already said that. How about a fundraiser, right? We all know somebody in need, whether it's to help with their mortgage or they're struggling with a sickness. I just finished up a fundraiser for a family member who is struggling with cancer, and it was a $1,400 fundraiser. People want to get on board with those things, and fundraisers are the best way to network, right? And you're giving back, most importantly. And that high PRV, right? It leads to recruits, flipping parties, and again, expanding your network, right? And in this business, I always go back to, we have to practice being consultants, and we continually have to do that. Practice being consultants. Doctors practice medicine, lawyers practice law, right? We have to practice being consultants every day, because this business is evolving and changing on a regular basis, and you have to constantly have your mind open to new things, right? So we got to keep moving forward and learning all the new things. Another thing, an obstacle I faced in my business was I moved 1,000 miles away from Chicago to where I am now, to Fairhope, Alabama. I did not know one person when I moved here outside of my family, you guys. So I challenged myself to earn Sensational Start Level 3 again when I moved here. And those things, all those things I just talked about, I implemented several of those things here. And I would go from business to business, passing out those little treat bags to people, and just sharing what I call happies with everybody, right? The samples. I would just share those and introduce myself and connect with people and connect on Facebook, friend request all the people in Facebook groups, right? Sending them friend requests, commenting on their statuses and interacting and just putting myself out there. We got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, folks. That's how we expand this business, right? Join local buy-sell trade pages, mom groups, getting involved in the community, volunteering. I volunteered at a women's resource center. I joined the Chamber of Commerce, got involved with the local church, right? I did all these things. Actually, and then about a year after we moved here, I promoted to Superstar Director. So that was super exciting. On to the next obstacle now. I promoted to Superstar Director, but then shortly after, I was not being paid a title, right? And so I put my blinders on, right? And I went to work, like no distractions, right? What am I going to do, right? So I put my blinders on, went to work. And here's what I started doing is I started reaching out to, because I actually had a star director that ended up quitting due to some personal reasons and things that were going on in her life. And her twin sister, who was under her, ended up quitting because she was the one that they had that connection, worked their businesses together, and her best friend, who was her other director. So I started digging deep into their teams and some of my other teams. Some people had dropped back to SSC, and I just started digging deep and finding some key people that wanted to work their business, that wanted to grow. And I picked up the 500-pound phone and just started building relationships. And shortly after that, I started doing this. And of course, I kept recruiting during this time as well, because we always have to keep doing that. I was sending out also to these people I was digging deep with, I was sending out Happy Mail. Sending out text messages, right? Connections. And I worked with the willing. If the people didn't respond, if they weren't interested, that's okay, right? We work with the willing. And that's what I did. And shortly after that, within a year, I had people that were several levels down move up to becoming frontline directors of mine. And so we have to figure out how are we going to overcome these challenges. And I'm just giving you my life story, my personal things that I had to do. And we have to keep going and keep growing, right? So today we have 20 plus directors within our group, right? Because we keep going and we keep growing and we keep pouring into people, right? And life happens. Fall of 2019, I became very ill. And so that was another obstacle I've had to face over my 10 years. I actually, I was very, very ill, and I actually lost my eyesight for quite a while. I was legally blind, couldn't drive. I couldn't see the workstation to work. It was a very, very trying time for me. And my daughters took me from doctor to doctor until they figured out what was going wrong. And I was diagnosed with Sjogren's syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease. But during this time, like, I have systems in my business, and there's so many trainings on different systems. You got to figure out what's going to work for you. Built relationships within my group. Thankfully that I had done this so that my business can run like a well-oiled machine. And that's what we need to do. We need to create the systems, build the relationships within our business, with our directors, with our leadership, with our teams, so that our business will run like a well-oiled machine. And then during this time, I think we had 3 people that promoted to director. So systems are important, you guys. If you have never read the book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, I highly, highly recommend it. We need systems so that when obstacles happen, our systems get us through those difficult times. Systems are like highways, right? They get you to where you need to go. Having systems within your Facebook group, your team, your personal business, all the things. creating those systems. Super, super important. So those are just a few things that I wanted to share with you guys today. Few things I wanted to talk about. Another thing, like after I was so ill, I kind of struggled with some insecurities and comparison. Oh, I hate that word, you guys, hate that word. And one thing I always have to go back to is having a daily devotional, journaling, and having my Bible time in the mornings. Sets my mindset for the day. Listening to worship music, right? Filling our life with positivity. So, so important. And when we do those things, it's going to change our mindset, right? Journaling, you guys, is huge. Writing down scriptures, writing down just your feelings, and then praying over those things. Mindset. It also helps with motivation, right? It helps with all these things, and super, super important. So we all have a journey. We all have our own story. And each of you, if you have not faced obstacles, you will, but you can overcome those obstacles with the right mindset. So important, having a right mindset. So that's kind of a little bit of my story that I wanted to share with you guys. And I hope it helps you moving forward. And you guys are amazing. You guys are incredible. You are amazing. And never, never forget that. You can do this. You can do this business. You don't need a college degree to do this business, right? You don't need a college degree. You just have to be willing to learn and stay consistent. All right. Love you guys. Have an amazing day.